Russia says it plans to hold nuclear drills tomorrow as President Biden warns the country will attack Ukraine within days. This morning, the UK Prime Minister is calling an attack on the Ukrainian kindergarten class a false flag operation. Right now, pro-Russian rebels and Ukrainian government forces are playing the blame game after artillery rounds hit the classroom. And this morning, President Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken speaking with European allies in a last-ditch attempt at a diplomatic resolution. Allison Harris is live at the White House with more. Allison.
Good morning, Rutabe. The president's warning is dire that an invasion is imminent and that it could happen in coming days. It's a rejection of the Kremlin's claims that they are pulling back troops, as there are new reports this morning that as many as 190,000 Russian troops have surrounded Ukraine. Fears of war have resurged. President Biden warning Thursday that the threat of a Russian invasion of Ukraine remains very high.
Do you think he's going to go through with this, sir? Is your sense that this is going to happen now?
Yes. I think this will happen in the next several days.
The president giving that timeline as Secretary of State Antony Blinken made a surprise appearance at the UN Security Council to convey the gravity of the moment.
I am here today not to start a war, but to prevent one. The information I presented here is validated by what we've seen unfolding in plain sight before our eyes for months. They have been steadily amassing more than 150,000 troops on Ukraine's borders, as well as the capabilities to conduct a massive military assault.
Blinken will meet with the Russian foreign minister next week if Russia does not invade, as the U.S. and NATO still desire a diplomatic resolution. But there's worry Russia is running parts of its playbook the White House has been warning about, launching cyber attacks against Ukraine and creating false narratives that Ukraine is the aggressor, like an attack on a kindergarten in Ukraine that President Zelensky is calling a big provocation. The school reportedly hit by shells fired by Russian-backed rebels.
A kindergarten was shelled in what we're taking to be what we know was a false flag operation designed to discredit the Ukrainians, designed to create a pretext, a spurious provocation for Russian action.
Blinken cautioning Russia could stage a violent event to blame Ukraine, faking a drone strike, terrorist bombing, or using chemical weapons to attack. This morning, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin met with the Polish defense minister, announcing that the U.S. will sell 250 tanks to Poland to strengthen their defenses. Also this morning, Vice President Harris met with the NATO Secretary General, and today, President Biden will lead a call with transatlantic allies about the situation in Ukraine. Rutabe.
Allison.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.